situation,
Voilà,
voilà.
une pression comme
Bonjour à tous. Good morning, everyone. I'm going to speak in French this morning. Donc, plus que 4 jours de compétition. On aimerait pouvoir retenir le temps. Avec peut-être ce matin pour moi un point spécifique sur les nouveaux sports qui ont été mis au programme des Jeux de Paris 2024. Vous savez qu'on avait choisi 4 sports additionnels, le surf, le skateboard, l'escalade et le breaking. On avait fait le choix de ces nouveaux sports d'abord parce qu'ils incarnent la performance. On voulait choisir des sports vraiment spectaculaires et aussi parce que ce sont des sports dont se sont emparées les nouvelles générations et on voulait renforcer ce lien entre les Jeux olympiques et les nouvelles générations. Alors le surf nous a déjà offert des images absolument exceptionnelles avec cette vague mythique à Teopo. Les photos également du skateboard. On fait le tour du monde avec ces athlètes dans les airs, avec l'obélisque de la Concorde en fond. Ils nous ont également offert un joli écart entre la première médaille d'Harry Satru à 14 ans et la première participation aux Jeux d'hier d'Andy McDonald à 51 ans. Donc voilà, c'est aussi la preuve que même les nouveaux sports parlent à toutes les générations. Et puis désormais, place à l'escalade, dont les compétitions se sont lancées sur le mur géant au site du Bourget. Et demain, pour la première fois de l'histoire des Jeux, le breaking, qui est ce sport iconique des Jeux de Paris 2024, qui incarne cette volonté de Paris 2024 de rapprocher le sport, la culture, qui va faire son entrée en scène. Et voilà, on a hâte de découvrir les premiers médaillés de l'histoire des Jeux dans cette discipline phare pour Paris 2024. Aujourd'hui, quelques mots rapidement. Donc, la journée a commencé tôt avec l'épreuve la plus matinale de ces Jeux à 7h30 avec la natation marathon pour les femmes. Au total, ce sont 22 sites de compétition qui sont actifs aujourd'hui. On attend plus de 450 000 spectateurs. Et puis un point encore sur les célébrations des Jeux, c'est aussi l'un des grands succès de ces Jeux de Paris 2024. Ce sont plus de 4 millions de spectateurs qui se sont rendus dans nos sites de célébration partout en France. Et donc voilà, on est tous ici à Paris, mais ça nous rappelle que la fête est aussi partout en France. Donc n'hésitez pas à vous rendre sur ces sites qui seront l'occasion de vivre les dernières émotions des Jeux. Et donc peut-être un point pour dire qu'aujourd'hui, c'est notre dernier daily brief avec le CIO. Marc, it was a pleasure. On va attendre la fin de la conférence avant de se remercier. Mais peut-être juste pour vous dire que samedi à 10h30, ce serait aussi l'occasion d'une conférence de presse avec Tony Estanguet, président de Paris 2024, et Étienne Taubois, directeur général, pour vous partager un premier bilan de ces Jeux de Paris 2024. Donc on vous attend nombreux samedi à 10h30.
Merci pour la dernière fois. Today we're going to do a little presentation on AI and technology here in Paris, at the Games here in Paris. Quick couple of broadcasting and digital figures for those that want. In Canada, CBC reports that consumption of Paris 2024 content on CBC digital and streaming platforms to date is up 74% over Tokyo 2020 and 106% over Beijing 2022. IOC Digital, the Olympic social media handles, have gained an average of 1.5 million new followers every day since the opening ceremony, 2.5 times more than during Tokyo, so going well there. 53 medals in play today, 26 golds, I am told. I have with me, as you can see, I have Ilario Corna, Chief IOC Information and Technology Officer. Thank you very much for joining us, Ilario. And once again, 2 days in a row, coming back for more, Yanis Exarchos, CEO of Olympic Broadcasting Services, OBS. So without further ado, let's pass, and I think, Ilario, you to start on technology.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mark. It's great to be here. First, let me start by telling you conclusively that the Olympic Games Paris 2024 are the most high-tech games ever. Massive amount of data are being generated during these games, which is processed, stored, and consumed across a variety of functional areas. Technology is the backbone of the Olympic Games that makes all of this possible. We are using technology, including artificial intelligence, for the first time to deliver the Olympic Games that will pave a way for the future. What does that mean? In Tokyo 1964 Games, we witnessed the dawn of a new era, the first live satellite TV transmission. in 1984 games mark another milestones with the introduction of email workstations. Now, in 2024, we are here to celebrate an unprecedented acceleration of innovation propelling the Olympic spirit into the future with boundless possibility. For starters, the very first Olympics that we are 100% cloud-based. What does that mean? It means no more physical rooms, no physical space needed for information storage. Everything is on the cloud. These games are the first of newly implemented cloud archival systems. At every edition of the Olympic Games, we need to store all of the content generated during these games. Hundreds of thousands of still images and video. In the past, it used to take days and to store and archive just the opening ceremony images. Now, by 7 a.m. the next day, we already had everything stored, and it was all available for all the media broadcasters and the commentator across the world. These are also the first games that are seeing the implementation of the Olympic AI agenda. The IOC set out to lead the implementation of artificial intelligence in sports earlier this year, setting out the envisioned impact of AI can deliver in sports. The Paris Games will witness the first example of these implementations. What does it mean in concrete? Example one, in the new result systems developed in partnership with Omega. The cutting-edge computer vision system can track athletes to record various performance metrics, such as 3D graphics of a diver, with metrics such as their time and speed. Another concrete example is the concept of digital twinning that we have developed with our own partner Intel. These are digital representations of Olympic venues that have allowed us and Paris organizers to plan in advance. For example, we could foresee where we will need power, where we will need to place cameras, if there could be any accessibility issues, all without needing to be on site every time. Using these digital twins of the games venue, we can change the way we organize the games in the future, and we intend to do more of this, and we will look forward to Milano Cortina 2026 and Los Angeles 28. Here in Paris, we also initiated an enhanced energy data management project, implementing an energy expert tool that will enhance the collection, processing, and analysis of energy consumption, that will help future games organizers make more data-informed decisions to deliver fit-for-purpose and right-size energy solutions. Naturally, Alibaba Cloud and OPS are using AI-powered for OBS Cloud at Paris 2024, which my friends and colleague Yanis will speak more about it in a couple of moments. All of this was also the help of Deloitte, which unveiled the Olympic agenda with us by identifying AI solutions that will improve the operational efficiency and sustainability of future Olympic Games. Most importantly, we are servicing the people that are the heart of these games, the athletes. Through technology, by now you have heard that our AI-powered service to safeguard athletes from cyber abuse. Since the start of the Games, this system analyzed over 1.5 million posts in more than 35 languages. And from that system, already we have flagged around 97,000 potential abusive posts for review. We are also providing a chatbot services for athletes so that they can get answers to frequently asked questions and with consistency. There are many, many ways in which technology will leave its imprint on these games. It may not always be that evident while you're dazzled by the world records and extraordinary feats of the athletes. But in the background, technology is working towards changing the way we deliver the games. Thank you.
Thanks, Ilario.
Thank you very much, Ilario. Good morning, everybody. Bonjour. Ilario mentioned at some point how cloudized those games are, how much cloud is being used for the efficiencies of these games. And this is an area, and perhaps I can start with that, where in OBS we have been working early on since 2018, because there we saw a huge opportunity in making the broadcast operations of the games far more efficient and productive and sustainable. We are already at the third iteration, at the third generation of the OBS Cloud, which we developed with our partner Alibaba. We didn't really expect that the development of cloud in broadcasting will be adopted so fast, but if there's any place where it makes a lot of sense, it's the Olympics. So the Paris Olympics are the first games where international distribution, delivery, and processing of the coverage of the games happens more on the cloud than any other means of distribution. So the cloud as a means of distributing content is surpassing the other traditional means, satellite and fiber, which is a huge step forward. Yesterday I was saying that even though we produce so much more, even though broadcasters publish so much more content, actually we have a significant reduction in terms of power, 50% less than what it was in Rio. And also we have reduced the sizes of the space we take up, both in the venues and the IBC. The IBC here is smaller than Tokyo, far smaller than in Rio. So these are fundamental efficiencies which are enabled through our technology innovations that we do together with our partners. There's a parallel program with which we point to the future of broadcasting that we tested first in Beijing, Gangwon, and here we use it in the coverage of 4 sports. Together with Intel, we have designed a way of covering sports events which avoids the use of those huge trucks, the obi vans that we carry around the world. So we have done it based on very powerful servers and purpose-made software for broadcasting. This is a virtualized version of an obi van. The benefits are very obvious in terms of sustainability, flexibility, the things that you can do, the space that you take up, the power that you use. Here, shooting, judo, wrestling, and parts of tennis are being covered with that, and the results is what you see on the screen. We believe this is the start of a new phase in the way broadcasting will be done outdoors in what we call software-defined broadcasting. Leaving aside a little bit the more technical side of efficiencies, which is though hugely important for an event like the Games, I would like to focus a little bit on what end consumers, what the audience can experience. And you may have noticed that in our coverage here, there are a number of new things, many of them, most of them, actually helped by the emergence of artificial intelligence. We have been working for a number of years, 6, 7 years, on several solutions. And now those solutions are mature enough to be presented in the Olympics. You may have seen many of those multi-camera replays that we use across the sports, and I think they uncover more of the beauty of the sport and the technicalities of the sport. We have done that again with our partners of Alibaba. You have seen the use in some sports of stroboscopic replays that really show what the movements of the body of the athletes are. And we have developed that in partnership with Omega. With Omega, also you have seen that we have introduced many more intelligent graphics and data and many descriptions in many sports of elements that were difficult to be captured before without the presence of AI. We also use a number of innovations that are largely AI-driven in golf, in volleyball, in archery. You have seen how we identify exactly the direction of the arrows. One other area that we are very, very happy about the development is the area of delivery of automated highlights. The Olympics is a very, very dense event. You have so many events taking place at the same time. It's very difficult for the audience to keep track of what's happening. So highlights, quick highlights in every format are very important. Those traditionally required incredible amounts of resources to be delivered, and they were not delivered. It was very difficult to do. With Intel, we developed a platform that uses AI to deliver very, very fast, very accurate, and customized highlights. Since the beginning of the Games, this platform has delivered 82,000 different highlights that broadcasters have used to customize content across 129 different countries. You understand what the impact of that is and why you have the sense in these games that wherever you are, whichever platform, you will always see in very, very fast a nice highlight of what has happened. Those are just a few of the things we're doing. Of course, our key focus for the use of AI is how to enhance the experience of the audience. We're not using AI to replicate humanly made efforts. We still believe that human creativity should be at the heart of it. We use AI as tools. We use them as assistants to our creators, to our editors, to our producers, to our directors. And it is true, especially in the level of understanding data, understanding information from around the world, that some of these tools really help us, especially on the digital front. You've seen the numbers. We're using AI assisted analysis of data in order for us to identify interesting stories around the world. And then our digital team writes the story, publishes, do videos, and so on. It's a huge help, and it has contributed a lot to this huge traffic that our digital operation has. I would like to stop here, share with you a very, very short video of some of the things I'm talking about. They're always more difficult when you talk than when you actually see them, and then we can take with Ilario any questions you have.
Thank you very much, Yanis and Ilario. Fascinating stuff. Okay, as ever, we will start with topic of the day, questions that you have. Any other questions we will tackle too, but yes, sir.
Bonjour, Bruno Fraioli de sportbusiness.club. J'ai juste 2 points à voir avec OBS. Tout à l'heure, vous avez parlé du tennis, du golf. Vous parlez de remote production, c'est bien ça, si j'ai compris. Et alors, est-ce que ça pourrait être développé encore plus à l'avenir ? Et puis par ailleurs, sur les images que l'on vient de voir, c'est beaucoup d'éléments supplémentaires. Est-ce qu'il y a une limite à un moment donné à ne pas franchir pour que ça soit totalement illisible? Merci.
Thank you very, very much. To the first question, it's not just a remote production, because remote production also happens today with more traditional means. I mean, you can connect people remotely. Here is a full transition into IP-based technologies from traditional broadcast technologies. This allows for far more flexibility. Essentially, you can use a set of servers or some other kind of computational infrastructure. Of course, this computational capacity needs to be very, very strong, and specially made software for broadcasting. The production, the producers, the directors may be sitting wherever it's more convenient. They may be in the venue, or they may be remotely, or they may be collaborating from different parts. So this is not just remote working, it is working with a lot more flexibility. To your second question regarding where does this stop with the additional information, I think that there will always be interest in additional visual information about the sports. There is a balance that we need to keep in our international feed between the actual description of the event and all these things that we do. The good thing is that today, with the capacity that we have to deliver different formats and different flavors of our production, we can allow actually the broadcasters to choose how much and when they want to bring this in. In the Olympic Games, actually for every sport we provide, almost for every sport we provide two feeds. One international feed, which is made up of measured use of additional virtual elements, things that we believe all broadcasters would like. And in parallel, we constantly provide to broadcasters opportunities to use additional enhancements like these ones. So the ones that you see in the international feed are much fewer than the ones we produce. But broadcasters use the additional ones if they want to give additional analysis after the events, or some of them sometimes do a parallel feed, which is actually a more enhanced feed. I agree with you that the event itself, the Olympic Games, is such a huge event in terms of athletic prowess and performance that the athletes should remain the fundamental thing. We should be capturing that. So my answer there is that we don't necessarily need to make a hard choice. We need to provide the options, and this is what we're trying to do to the broadcasters. But once a performance is great, people are interested in seeing more and more and understanding how this happened.
Okay, more questions. Yeah, lady here.
Hello. In its latest statement, WADA has criticized the U.S. anti-doping agency for breach of the code. So what's your comment on that?
Yes, I'll come to that in a second. I just wanted to check first before we had any more questions for Yanis or for Ilario, because I might let them go if not. But yes, gentleman from the Daily Star there.
Thanks, Matt. I was just wondering, you mentioned the abuse. You've been able to track the abuse of athletes in social media. Could you give us some more examples of that? And you said that it's being analysed. What's likely to happen with that data? Does that go towards prosecution, to police forces? How do you deal with it? And what measures have you got in place that can hopefully prevent it?
No, I just quickly butt in there on this.
It's for Ilario.
Yeah, so I mean, I was just going to say we had a very good presentation which is still available on safeguarding. I can't remember what day from Kirsty Burrows, which you can find, which will run you through all the details of what we do and when and if we choose to refer it on to different authorities, which does happen. But Ilario, do you want to add to that at all?
Nothing.
Okay.
Mark.
Yeah. I mean, I would direct you to that because I think it's pretty detailed. Yes, Graham from AP.
Thank you, Graham Nabar from the AP. On the use of the cloud and Alibaba, are we just talking about broadcasting here? Because I remember a few years ago, back in the day when Alibaba came on board, there was suggestions that, if they're doing the turnkey cloud systems for all the LOCs, that maybe there might be some resistance in Paris and, I mean, Los Angeles, given it's California's like the tech capital of the world. Was all that resolved over time? I mean, sort of security implications and how it's all settled down. How has it all been resolved? Maybe
to pick up the first part, yes, for OBS, the platform that we have developed with Alibaba is a video-based platform. This is for, it carries and processes video. Obviously, there are other functions of Alibaba cloud services for other areas of the committee. Maybe Ilario can be more granular on that.
Well, yes, we are using Alibaba, and right now we work with the French authorities, the CNIL and ANSI, and yes, it is being used for the games.
Okay. Any more questions on AI technology? Okay, gentlemen, thank you very much. I think I can release you.
Thank you very, very much.
Very much for joining us today. Okay, yes, sorry about that, but we'll come to your questions now. I suspect I'm not going to give you a very satisfactory answer because I think I'm going to refer you to WADA, but please ask your question.
Just from Xinhua News Agency, just a question about WADA's statement. It criticized the U.S. anti-doping agency for breach of the code. So what's your comment on that? Thank you.
I think for the time being, as I've already indicated, I don't really have very much to add to that. WADA have made their statement. I mean, obviously, we're working with all of our stakeholders, continue to work with all of our stakeholders to make sure that we have a good and robust world anti-doping system. Can't add anything to that, I'm afraid. Yep, down here, Reuters.
Yes, Carlos Groman from Reuters. Mark, a question on the Samsung smartphones. Have the North Korean athletes received Samsung smartphones just like all the other athletes? And will they be able to take them back to North Korea, or will they hand them back here before their departure? Thank you.
I think it won't surprise you to know that you take me by surprise on North Koreans and Samsung phones. I will find out for you whether that is the case or not. We'll come back to you with that one. Yes, sir.
Morning, Sean Potter from Reuters. Could you please give us any medical update on the Ethiopian athlete, Lamisha Girma, who suffered a bad crash on the track last night? Thank you.
Yeah, I can't give you a medical update. That's probably almost certainly best coming from the National Olympic Committee and also from the medical authority. I don't know if Anne has anything, but obviously we understand that he's in good shape, and our sympathies go to him. Hope he's okay and makes a very, very swift recovery. We all saw that. No one likes to see an accident like that, totally unexpected. But I don't know if you've got any update on that, Anne. No, sorry. I think best to go to the National Olympic Committee, who I understand are dealing with media inquiries. If not, come back to us and we will inquire for you of them. From AFP.
Hi, good morning. Adam Plowright from AFP. I was wondering, Mark, if you could give us any information about the case of the Afghan judoka Mohammed Samim Faizad. There are reports that he has sought asylum after competing here in Paris. And I don't know as well if you're able to give us any information on that. And a second question, if I may, there's been more reporting about the water quality tests done in the Seine. And I wondered, Anne, if you commit to publishing all of the data that you've received, as we had before the Games. We used to have a sort of daily breakdown of the water quality readings, which we haven't had since the start of the Games. And that would help to clear up some of the speculation about what the results and the quality of the water when particularly the triathlon mixed relay was given the go-ahead.
Yeah, on the first one, I don't have any details about which Afghani judoka. Yeah, I'm afraid I don't. But I would, on that one, refer you to the authorities. I guess the French authorities in this case. But Anne.
On your second question, so I will get back to you on the approach in order to share all the information. But just maybe I can start from the last results we have for today's race. So it's our national lottery. So today for E. so the samples were taken yesterday at 5 a.m. It showed E. coli levels at 248, 387, 261 to 308 across the 4 testing points. And so they were all considered as very good by World Aquatics. And on the latest available data for Antero, so they were based on samples taken between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. on the 6th of August, and they gave results of 184, 87, 93, and 104. They are all also considered as very good according to the World Aquatics criteria. So on your question, we'll get back to you. We need to also have the discussion with the international federations.
Okay, I think we might be coming to a gentle end. As they say, this is the way the world ends, not with a bang but a whimper. No, and talking of which, here comes Graham. Over to you.
Yeah, a whimper, I don't know. Shall we talk about OnlyFans? A website I'm sure none of us in this room are familiar with at all. I think there's maybe been a question to Paris 24 as well. It's a regular Olympic story, athletes sort of auctioning their, not their medals, but their sort of equipment. They're just to try to raise money to pay for their costs. Some suggestions, some are advertising themselves on OnlyFans for people who like to see pictures of their favourite Olympic athletes. Is that a trend? I mean, it's been kind of confirmed from the site. Is that something you've been aware of, or have there been original ways?
Have you been looking at my browser history, Graham? Is that what? I honestly, I'm not aware of, but I think I would assume that athletes are, like all citizens, are allowed to to do what they can. Only friends, you say? Is that right?
I'm about 20 seconds ahead of you on this subject. So.
I think that actually that is a suitable way to end. This is actually our last press conference together. As Anne said, you're back here tomorrow at Saturday at 10. I'm back here tomorrow with the President at 4 o'clock, and I will be announcing at 2 the Athlete Commission results for those that want them. Thank you very much to everyone. Thank you particularly to Anne, and enjoy what's left of, well, there's still four full days, so still plenty to go wrong. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye. One of those ones.